Understanding the 5 stages of team development enables you to get teams started, resolve conflicts more smoothly, share information effectively, achieve top results, and then review outcomes to keep finding ways to improve.
Forming occurs right after members' assignment in a group. Members are preoccupied with familiarizing themselves with the task and the other members of the group. Forming is a mechanical process used in manufacturing industries wherein materials, mostly metals, undergo plastic deformations and acquire required shapes and sizes by application of suitable stresses such as compression, shear and tension. In the forming process, no material is removed. It is completely displaced and deformed into the required shape. Some of the commonly used forming processes in the manufacturing industry are forging, rolling, extrusion, thread rolling, rotary swagging, explosive forming, and electromagnetic forming. Forging is a manufacturing process involving the shaping of a metal through hammering, pressing, or rolling. Forming is a continuous metal forming process taking sheet, strip, or coil, stock, and bending or forming it to a continuous cross section. Extrusion is a manufacturing process that involves forcing base metal through a pre-shaped die to create objects with a specific shape and profile. Thread rolling is a metal forging process that forms threads into the mirror image of a roller die. Rotary swagging is a special kind of cold metal forming which principally can be described as a high-speed multi-hammer process. Explosive forming is a process in which forces produced by an explosion are used to shape a workpiece. Electromagnetic forming is a high-speed forming technology that can be applied for shaping as well as for joining and cutting of sheet metal and profile-shaped workpieces made of an electricity conductive.
Forming occurs right after member assignment in a group. Members are preoccupied with familiarizing themselves with the task and to the other member of the group. What is forming? So, based on my research, forming is a second method of giving a part size and shape. Forming processes change the size and shape but not the volume of the material. And the material will weight the same before and after a forming process, also known as metal forming, is a metal working method for shaping metal parts and objects through mechanical deformation. The workpiece is reshaped without adding or subtracting material.
Storming, also called the counter-dependent stage. It is the most critical stage in the group development. Is this the code make or break phase that determine whether the group will be affected or not? At this stage, the group encountered conflict as a member comfort to criticize each other and the approach the group is taking to their task. Issues that arise include the identification of the rules and responsibilities, operational rules and procedure, and the individual needs for recognition of his or her skills and abilities. Also, when we say storming, it is the second stage of team development, where the group starts sort itself out and gain each other trust. So here are some examples of storming stage. It can be petty clash of personality or incompatibility in communication style, or it could be something more serious such as a disagreement about the team goals, and it could be even exhibit itself as one team member accusing another of not pulling their weight in the project. So these are some examples of storming stage. At this stage, team members openly share ideas and use this as an opportunity to stand out and be accepted by their peers. Team leaders help team in its stage by having a plan in place to manage competition among team members, make communication easier, and make sure that projects stay on track. So these are the some example of storming stage.
Storming. The group begins to sort itself out and acquire each other trust in the second stage of team development. This stage usually begins when they express their thoughts. Disagreement between team members may emerge as authority and position are distributed. When group members begin to collaborate with one another, they begin to learn about one another's unique working style. It also established the group hierarchical structures. People are courteous to one another and they may feel excited, enthusiastic, and positive during this period. Others may experience sentiments of distrust, fear, and anxiety. The team leader will next explain the task to the group, as well as the various behaviors and how to deal with and resolve concerns.
The second stage of group development is known as the storming stage. The storming stage is where conflict and competition are at its greatest. This is because now that group members have an understanding of the task and a general feel for who they are as a group and who group members are, they feel confident and begin to address some of the more important issues surrounding the group. Such issues can relate to things like the group's tasks, individual roles and responsibilities, or even with the group members themselves. Here are some examples of storming stage. At this stage, team members openly shares ideas and use this as an opportunity to stand out and be accepted by their peers. Team leaders help teams in this stage by having a plan in place to manage competition among the team members, make communication easier, and make sure projects stay on track.
Norming, so in this stage, ito ay ang bahagi kung saan ang mga miyembro ay nagsisimulang lutasin ng mga issue na lumikha ng hindi pagkakasundo at nagsimulang bumuo ng panlipunang kasunduan at kompromiso. Ang mga member naman ay nagsisimulang makilala ang kanilang pagtutulungan, bumuo ng pagkakaisa ng grupo at sumang-ayon sa kung ano ang normal na makakatulong sa kanila na gumawa ng epektibo sa loob ng grupo. In the norming stage, the team has figured out how to work together. They still have issue with each other, but they're able to work around those issues. They are able to work around what they consider annoyances or irritations. They are able to pick each other up and keep moving forward. So, for example, normies, they've polished out most questions. So, bale, inayos nila ang karamihan sa mga question and bought everything they need. Binili nila ang lahat ng kailangan nila to buy both what they need. So, para makabili ng mga kailangan nila, they've even made a road trip to the city together. They've even used this time to bond and get to know each other better.
Norming. Norming is the part where members start to resolve issues, creating conflict, and begin to develop social agreements and compromises. Members begin to recognize their interdependence, develop group or cohesion, and agree on what is normal that will help them function effectively within the group. And also, norming stage consensus develops around who the leader or leaders are and individual members' roles. Interpersonal differences begin to be resolved and sense of cohesion and unity emerge. Team performance increases during this stage as members learn to cooperate and begin to focus on team goals. Norming stage example. People start to resolve their differences, appreciate one another's strengths, and respect your authority as a leader. Now that they know one another better, your team members will feel more comfortable asking for help and offering constructive feedback. Norming, when the team is aware of competition and they share a common goal.
All team members take responsibility and have the ambition to work for the success of the team's goals.
Performing this stage demonstrates that the group has sorted out its social structure and understands its goals and individual roles to be able to move forward in its tasks. Mutual assistance and creativity become prominent themes at this stage. Examples of performing may include arts, dancing, and singing. Arts, the expression or application of human creative skills and imagination, typically in a visual form such as painting, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Dancing, move rhythmically to music, typically following a set sequence of steps. The chicks were proceed together as they dance. Singing, the activity of performing songs or tunes by making musical sounds with the voice, the singing of hymns in Latin.
The performing it may include dance, music opera, mime, and singing. There are also specialized forms of line art in which the artists perform their work live to an audience. Dance teaches the importance of movement and fitness in a variety of ways through a variety of disciplines. As well, dancers learn to coordinate muscles to move through proper position. Dancing is a great activity to pursue at almost any age, provided you are in a proper health to handle the rigor of dancing for life. Singing is the act of producing musical sounds with the voice. A person who is singing is called a singer or vocalist. Singers perform music that can be sung with or without accompaniment by musical instrument. The mime, to tell a story or express yourself without words, using only the movements of your body and face.
Adjourning. In this final stage of the group development, members prepare to say goodbye. The main goal of the adjourning stage are to say achieve closer and end on the positive note. Adjourning. The group members need time to reflect on their individual participation in the group. It is also important to recognize the group progress and achievement of the group as a whole. Adjourning stage. Example, when we are done the presenting our review, I will greet my group mates for their individual participation because the outcome of our division presentation was successful, and this is a time to celebrate all that's been accomplished. And it's also important for my group mates to live with a sense of the closure and the exchange to say goodbye.
In this stage, typically, team members are ready to leave, causing significant change to the team structure, membership, or purpose and the team during the last of class. They experience change and transition. While the group continues to perform productively, they also need time to manage their feelings of termination and transition. Teams complete their project and debrief on what went well and what could be improved for future projects. Afterwards, team members move on to new projects.